What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video, and this is the last match of the tournament at Table 1 Gaming. I don't know if you guys ever been there, but it was, I think, my first time ever going there, or the first time in a long time. But yeah, to the left is my opponent. I believe he's running Diva Heroes, Hero Diva, whatever you guys want to call it. I did notice a lot of people were running that deck, at least in that locals. And I'm running Vayu Turbo to the right with the pink sleeves because pink is pimping. And yeah, a little bit of this matchup though that you guys are gonna see. I don't know if you guys are aware of the trap card Royal Oppression, and it negates a lot of special summon. Well, all the special summon. In one of the duels here, I had he tried to special summon that evil hero. I forgot his name. The one that's like a 2-star. It's like Cyber Dragon. If like your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you special summon them. And I oppressioned it, and he was like, "No, you can't." And I'm like, "I think I can." He's like, "No, you can't." And I'm like, "I've done it before." And we called the judge, so it did take a little bit longer. Unfortunately, the judge was siding with him. He was like, "Yeah, you can't, this and that, because it already happened." I'm like, "No, it doesn't already happen." It's like, he is trying to do it. And I was going back and forth with the judge, not like in a douchey way, because I'm not like that. But I was just like, if it's true, then can you explain to me why? Like, because I would like to know for future knowledge, because like I said earlier, I've done it many times. And the judge was just like, it just does. Like, it just special summons and that's it, just because. And I'm like, well, honestly, I'm not really too happy about that answer. Can you ask someone else? So he does. He's like, okay, I'll be back. And he goes as like somebody else that works there. I'm not 100% sure if they're a judge or not. But he comes back and he's like, so yeah, you're right. It does negate. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, thank you. So when my opponent heard that, I guess he was really counting on that special summon. I'm assuming he maybe had a Caius because he wanted to tribute. He just scoops. He's like, all right, well then let's go to the next game. But stuff like that, I do play for fun. I do play to create content, but I'm also trying to win, because obviously if you win first or second, you get a good amount of packs, and hopefully you get a good card. Maybe you can sell it, maybe you can trade it for the stuff that you really need or whatever, or you're just trying to collect everything. And so I was trying to, not lose over a ruling that I was like 99% sure that I was right. But yeah, so if you guys play Edison or any card game, and you guys do go to tournament, make sure you know your rulings, because sometimes these judges don't really know the rulings. And I understand Edison is a really old format, and the judges nowadays focus more on like the new format instead of like Time Wizard 2010 format. But that's why it's always good to know for yourself. So yeah, just make sure you do your research. It can cost you a game. And I don't know if you guys were. I hope you guys were paying attention to the duel. But he. I also didn't like the earlier move. I swung with both monsters, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take both." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." He was literally about to draw, and he was like, because I ended my turn, and he was about to draw. He's like, "Oh wait, I forgot I had this," and he special summons Tragodia, and then he draws, and I'm like, Again, I'm not a douchey player, so I let it slide. But because of that, he was able to take my Brionic and just like pop off, and he won the first round. So I was kind of a little salty about it. I was like, that was your mistake for like forgetting, and it's like I already ended my turn. The battle phase ended like 10 minutes ago, kind of thing. But I was like, whatever, you live and learn. It is what it is. But yeah, he did take round one because of that. He just popped off like crazy. Tragodia is a amazing monster. The fact that it could take control permanently, it could switch his stars, and you could synchro with it because you could change the stars to like different numbers depending on what's in your graveyard. Um, it's just good overall. But yeah, so I summoned Sirocco. I'm trying to bluff, but I'm like, yeah, you took it, whatever. As soon as he took Brionic and he was able to pitch and just pop off, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to come back. But yeah, and this is round number two. Um, as you guys can see, I'm just like, I know what I'm playing against. I already side decked, and I'm like, okay, let me play a little slower. Let me change my play style. It all depends on what deck I'm playing that I change my play style. I'm not gonna play the same way with every deck. He summons Card Trooper. Card Trooper is pretty good. I use Card Trooper, and I know if you destroy it and they're able to draw, you kind of don't want them to draw. So if you could like use Caius or something that removes, it's best to remove it than to just destroy it and for them to get a draw, because that one card, that extra card that they draw could probably win them the game. So damn, the glare is pretty bad. It sucks because I record in a GoPro, and when I'm recording and I'm previewing the stuff on my phone before I hit record, it looks fine. But once I slap it onto like iMovies or whatever, I see the glare and I'm like, dude, why didn't I see this earlier? But yeah, so it's a glare. I hope you guys can see the cards. I'm trying to get a tripod right now. It's not that it's expensive, but I feel like the thing that I use is more convenient for me because it's more portable, and sometimes other people are recording, and I don't want the car shop owners to be like, man, there's tripod everywhere, people are tripping, it's a hazardous safety issue, and for them to say that we can no longer record. So that's why I haven't really gotten a tripod, because I don't want them to not allow me. So this is what I'm talking about. He special summoned. Well, he tried to special summon, and I chained to oppression. And he's like, no, it already happened. You can even oppression Cyber Dragon. I'm like, I think you can. And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, go ahead. So the judge comes. He reads oppression. He reads that, and he sides with the opponent. He's like, yeah, or you can cancel oppression. You can use oppression to negate his special summon. I'm like, what the fuck? And the homie was there, and I know the homie knows the ruling, and he would have like backed me up. But he obviously he was busy playing his match, so I didn't want it to call him and interrupt and all that. So I was just like, okay. My opponent gets on the phone trying to get the ruling, and I'm like, I don't need to get on the phone. I know it does. Like, I've done it multiple times. Many people have confirmed that I can. So it's like, why are you saying that I can't, kind of thing. But yeah, so we're just waiting. So then he's like, he comes back, because that's when he comes back, and he tries to show him one, but it was like a ruling for another card, and he realized like, oh no, this is for another card. I'm like, why are you checking the ruling of another card? Like, that other card has nothing to do with this equation, kind of thing. But yeah, so I was just like, okay, I'm just waiting. What's going to happen? Now the judge is on my side, but my opponent is still like, nope, let me check because I know. And I'm like, all right, so now you don't believe me or the judge. Okay, so what's going on? I could have edited this part out, but I just wanted you guys to get a little bit more of a raw field of what's going on. So obviously I destroy it. I pay 8, destroy it, and then he's just looking at his hand. I only have 2 monsters, which is, I believe, is Sirocco and something else. I really think he wanted to go for the Caius, because then he could pretty much clear out my field, because Caius will banish one and kill one. But he couldn't, because I negate and he scoops. So just make sure, guys. Again, let me repeat that. Just make sure you guys know the rulings of almost all the cards. I won't say all the cards because I think that's impossible. But this is why it's good to play the same deck over and over, because you're gonna be in different situations, and those situations you'll learn something new. Whether it does cost you the game one time, but the next time you're in that situation, at least you know what the proper ruling is, and you'll be able to play something different or in a different way. So just make sure you study the cards, or you study the top decks that people are most commonly using right now. It can help. So he future fusions, uh, sets 2, and I know that deck is very like back row heavy. So I was like, I believe I side deck in Royal Decree, because with Decree I don't have to worry about the trap cards. I might still have to worry about Gemini Spark, but not the trap cards. I MST, and I challenged them with back rows as well. I'm like, all right, cool. You want to play like that? I can play like that too, kind of thing. Um, Honestly, I just drew pretty bad. Um, that's all it was. It wasn't like, oh yeah, like that's me or whatever. So he summons Malicious, obviously, because he pitched it with Future Fusion. And then I believe he goes with Diva. Oh no, he tributes for Caius. So I told him to select. I chain Torrential, and he decked Devi, and I'm like, fuck, I was not expecting deck Devi. I believe I had a Solemn Judgment. No, I actually had a Decree. So you guys will see, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Solemn Judgment or Royal Decree. So that's why I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, Decree. And he was like, all right, cool. So then that was my mistake, though. And I'm surprised he didn't catch that, knowing that he was acting like he knew all the rulings. Since I Decree, and that was Chainlink 3, I believe. Decree activates first, and then negates deck Devi, and it would have also negated my Torrential, meaning Caius would have stayed. If I'm not mistaken, I think Caius would have stayed on the field. But I don't know if he still removed it because you tribute it as cost to activate deck Devi. I'm not too sure. But he summons Stratos. Obviously, he's searching for who else. I think you guys already know who else. It's a pretty common play when they have Stratos. Oh, that little guy. When I side deck in Royal Decree, I take away Oppressions, because obviously it'll counter it, and it'll just be a dead card on the field or in my hand. And especially if I'm trying to top deck, it would definitely be a dead card. So yeah, I know some people sometimes run 1-in-1. Royal Decree is an amazing card, but you can't really run it with Oppression. I'm just saying, or Skill Drain or anything like that. He special summons Tragodia again, and I'm like, all right, cool. I wasn't too sure what to do. I know Tragodia is pretty good. So second main phase, I special summoned Chaos Sorcerer, and I removed it. I don't want him to have a monster to tribute, and I don't want him to have Tragodia to be able to take control of my monsters. So I'm just like, okay, let me try to poke you. It is what it is. So I'm swinging, and he's thinking. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think's gonna win? We're 1-1. So he takes the first hit. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's Kaiku, right? So I side deck in Kaiku because Kaiku is just fucking beast, man. I'm thinking of probably side decking 2. So he's at 21. He only has one card, or one monster. I summon. I swing with, and that was GG's.